Hey everyone, welcome back to Structural Studio. This is the second part of our AutoCAD 2D drawing tutorial, where in the first part we covered some of the most basic and essential tools, such as the line, polyline, circle, and rectangle. Today, we'll take a step further by exploring AutoCAD's modified tool, which are crucial for editing and defining our objects or structural components. Today we're going to focus on the move, rotate, copy, mirror, stretch and scale, as well as trim and extend tools. But AutoCAD offers as well the modified tools for fillet and chamfer, as well as the different arrays. These two we'll focus on them on the next part, as I'm leaving them for better explanation and understanding, as they're one of the most crucial tools in AutoCAD. And I will give also a practice drawing for it. So without further ado, let's start. First of all, we will change the units as it's convenient for us. As we said, just type in UN or units, press on enter. This page will load up. I want my length to be decimal, so it shows like this. This is the sample output. And I want it in meters. This is all that I need to change. As well, if I want to use angles, I could change them to another 0 after the comma. That's alright. Press on OK. Now, let's start. I will use a rectangle as an example to show you the move tool. I will press on REC or just click on here, but I always suggest to use the shortcut. I want to specify first corner here. So I now want an 8 by 8 rectangle. Now let's say I am far away from this and I don't see this rectangle. What I can do, I can either zoom in manually, or I can just double click on the wheel button. And here, it zooms in automatically for me. To use the move tool, we select the object, we click on move or just use the shortcut M, space. I want to specify my base point. I want my base point to be the top left corner. This means that the rectangle will move from here, wherever I specify it. Click on here, now I go here, and go here. Now, if you want to be a good engineer, you do not want to move them like this. But I always choose to use ortho. You can activate ortho mode by clicking on this button right here, which says ortho mode. Right now it is off. Or you can just click F8 as a shortcut. Click on F8. What does ortho mean? You can only move in 4 directions. Either to the right, and there's no angle, there's no degree. It's 0, 90, 180, 270. This is what ortho does. Now I want to move this object on this side by 10 units. Click on 10, press on enter. This is the engineering way to do it and the right way to do it. Next up is the copy command. Now, this is similar to the move tool, but instead of just moving the object, it will duplicate it and we can move it wherever we want on our drawing. So I will again select this rectangle, either with the green selection box, just going across it like that, just tapping it, or with the blue selection box where we have to cover it fully. We'll click on copy or just use C over the shortcut. It again says specify base point. Now I will use the base point in the bottom right corner. Then it says specify second point. I want this, so I have an 8 by 8. I want the spacing between them to be 2. I will move this again to the right for 10 units. Enter, and here we go. We have the same rectangle, just move 10 units, this base point right here. And I said I wanted a gap between them by 2, so if we check here, we will have a gap of 2. So the next important command, the most useful command in AutoCAD that we use a lot is the mirror command. The mirror command, what does it do? It reflects an object about a specified axis that we specify. So what do we mean by that? Let's just make a simple arc. Start, center, end. It doesn't matter the dimensions. From this arc, I want to get a full circle. To not draw another arc, because it takes a lot of time, you want to be fast with AutoCAD, I will use the mirror command. So select the arc, go to mirror or just type MI. It says specify first point of mirror line. What does it mean by that? It says to make our own axis that will act as the line of symmetry to this arc. So I want it here, and as I have ortho activated, it does it automatically for me. For example, if we don't have ortho, it moves like this. So you can see this is the first line, and I want my line of symmetry to go from here to here. Select it, and there. It says erase source object. It means, do you want to erase the object we selected first? No, we don't want that, so we want the first circle. There we go, we created our full circle, which is made of two parts, as you can see. The next tool is the rotate tool that we're going to learn. So how to use this? I'll make another rectangle. The dimensions don't really matter. Let's make it 50 by 50, just so it's visible. So the rotate tool, you select the object however you want, click on rotate, or as I always suggest, just use RO, the shortcut. It says specify base point. I'll just specify a base point in the bottom left corner. Now, as you can see, the object will rotate based on that point that you specified. We can either use angles or we can do this manually to move the object visibly through our drawing. I want it 30 degrees. There we go. We rotated our square by 30 degrees from this base point. Or what else can we do? I want to make this I don't want to erase the initial object. I want to make a duplicate of it. What do I use? If we go down here, it says we have these two options, copy and reference. We want to use the copy tool. We press on C space. As you can see, our original object is there, it didn't move. I want to make the same object, just rotate it. So I already specified my base point. I just need to type in my degrees. I want 45. There we go. We created two objects just by using rotate and copy command. This is a very powerful tool in AutoCAD. Now, the next tool that we're going to learn is the scale tool. What do we use scale? It is to resize an object or element in our drawing. We can either duplicate its size or we can either half its size. So what do we use it? In engineering mode, we can use that to redefine our elements or components in the drawing to make them bigger or smaller. We can scale our annotations and symbols, as we will see later on tutorials, and many different ways. So I will make this time a circle. So we go either here or just type in C for circle. It says specify the center point, specified here, and the radius. I want the radius of 30. Now to use the scale, we select the object we want to scale, press on scale, and it says to specify our base point. I want my base point to be the middle of the circle, right here. And now it says specify scale factor. How much do we want to factor it? So I want to have its radius. I will type in 0.5, enter. Now, if I go the dimension and measuring tools, we will learn them later on. I will just show you what I did here. As you can see, the radius of this circle is 15 now. It's not 30 because we use the scale factor of 0.5. Or I'll just go Control Z back. Let's select the circle again, scale from the center point 2. If we look at the radius now, it is 60. So it's duplicate. This is a very powerful command as well in AutoCAD, as we will use it later on. The next tool that we're going to learn is the stretch tool. So what is it? What is the stretch? With the stretch tool, we can adjust the shape or size of an object. In the engineering world, we usually use it to adjust the length of the wall, column, window, whatever we're working on. So let's use an example. We will not use rectangle or circle as it's one component. We will use a line. For example, let's just make a window. Let's make a window 10 here, 90 degrees. Enter. Let's turn on ortho mode, but it's easier. I want it 80. And let's see, well, what can we do here? Let's just use the mirror command. I will select this line. I will use mirror. I already have ortho mode activated, and I will use this point as my line of symmetry. Space. No. As you can see, I just did that very fast. I didn't have to draw it manually. Now I want to do this, the same thing, but this as well. We'll use a mirror. We'll specify my base point in the middle of this. Rotate it for this line of symmetry or this one, doesn't matter. No. There we go. We will use this as a window, for example. Doesn't a window, I'm just trying to explain to you as better as I can. If for some reason you don't see these midpoints or these endpoints, you can go here to the snap cursor, maybe this off, and now let's see. These don't show, right? You want to turn this on. You want to turn on as well as the endpoint, which is this point right here. You want to turn on the midpoint, which is this right here. Why? Let's use an example. Let's turn this off. Now I want to make a line from here, and use it on the mid. I cannot see the mid. I can only see the nearest point. But if I turn on midpoint, I can just do this very easily. There we go. I have the midpoint of this line. So, what do we want to do with the stretch command? I want to stretch this window another 20 units because I had the wrong dimensions. And when I recontrolled the drawings, I saw that I drew the wrong window. So, I want to select the stretch command. It says select objects. To select this here, this, as well as this. To stretch it, we will enter space. It says specify base point. My base point will be this here. I want to stretch it by 20 units. 20, enter. Now, if I go to the dimensions, I will see that I have a 100 unit window in this example. This is a very, very powerful tool in AutoCAD as it helps us faster our process of drawing. Because to do that manually, it is very time consuming. In AutoCAD, we always try to do things fast and accurate with precision. So the next and last tool we will learn is the extend and trim command, which are right here. How do you use them? What do we use them? You can tell by the name of it. We trim a line or we extend a line. How? Let's see. Let's use a circle. Let's use a line. Polyline doesn't matter. Just like this. Now, in my job, in my object, I want to remove this line. We can just do this automatically like this, but this is not practical. This is not the practical way to do it. We will use the trim command or just the shortcut TR. In newer versions, AutoCAD will specify the boundary conditions automatically. In this case, as you can see, the boundary is the circle. Now we'll cut this line like this by selecting it. I'm clicking on it. There we go. In older versions, you will see something like this. You will see something that says select object. What does this mean? It says to select an object that you will use as a boundary. In my case, I will use the circle as a boundary. I will just only select the circle. I'll press on space. And it says now to select objects I want to trim. As I said, I want to trim this part. I will click on it and there we go. Escape. And I have my drawing that I wanted. Now, I want to show you the extend line. I will delete this. I'll make another line like this, and another line like this. Doesn't matter. Now I want to extend this line from here to here. I will go to here. I can select it manually, or I can just use EX or extend. It says select object to extend or shift select to trim. Now, as I said, I want to extend this. In newer versions again, it does it automatically for you. It uses this as the boundary. In older version, well, okay, this version I will only click on the line that I wanted to extend. There we go, it's done. In older versions, it will be something like this. It says to select boundary edges down here. We'll use this as my boundary. I will press on space and I will select this line that I want to extend. There we go. This is the trim and extend line in AutoCAD. So this is it for our second part of our AutoCAD 2D drawing tutorials. Today we covered some of the most basic and important tools in AutoCAD, as the move, rotate, copy, mirror, stretch, select, trim, and extend tools. They're important because they will help you refine your objects and edit them more easily and faster. My suggestion to you is that you use these tools a lot and practice getting comfortable with them. And on the next video we will show the chamfer, fillet, and arrays, as well as a drawing that we will practice together. If you found this video helpful, please drop a like and subscribe, as well as share with your friends. See you guys in our next part.